All right, so we talked about some of the good stuff that's gone on and some of your experiences. So tell us one tournament that you've had where everything seemed to have gone wrong. What are some of the bad things that occurred?
There's been so many of those, I can't remember them all. But there's one that was just not too long ago, actually. We were on a Green River Lake over in Campbellsville, Kentucky. And Lindsey Wilson College is putting on their own little bass tournament so everybody gets some practice in, get to know the lake and get a little fishing in. Well, actually, we took off from the Holmes Bend Marina, and I fished 2 or 3 spots. I had my partner with me and stuff. First time I ever fished with the guy. We were pumped up. I'd been on fishing practice, and we hit 2 or 3 spots. We got about 6 or 7 miles away from the ramp. I went to start the big motor up, and it went click, 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 click. So it just blew the motor just like that. Ended up having to call my dad and stuff to come all the way from Gravel Switch all the way over to basically Columbia where the ramp was. And just terrible day. $10,000 motor.
Wow.
Just terrible day.
So when you're out there fishing, how do you pick where you're going to fish? How can you tell where the good fish are?
I tell you what, it pretty much all depends on the time of the year. During tournament season, we do a lot of pre-fishing or practicing, which is basically we go out before the tournament, during the limits where they give us practice. Like usually they give us a couple of days of practice before. We go out and we just fish different areas. Like, say during the summertime, I know they're going to be a little bit deeper than they are in the springtime. So I'll use that as a base starting place, and then I'll go out and try to find different areas that I think might hold fish. And I do a lot of map studies too, looking at different water changes and stuff like that. So you just kind of eliminate water and go out and practice before the tournament.
So there's a lot of science to it.
There actually is, to be honest with you. They've got GPS units out now. They've got side scan sonars that go out. They can pick up bushes 100 feet to each side of you now, and you can look at they've got hotspot maps you can buy at Walmart for $10. Those are pretty much the old school way. I like to sit down and look at them and see the different water changes. So there's a lot to it.
Now we're going to go through the next several months. We're going to go to the different lakes. But what kinds of fish should people be keeping an eye out for in the local lakes here in Marion, Washington, Nelson counties?
I'll tell you what, we've actually got a bunch of different species. Like the Rolling Fork River has smallmouth and spotted bass, and they've got a few largemouth. Most of the local lakes and reservoirs like Fagan Ranch and stuff, they've got largemouth bass. And pretty much anywhere you go will have bluegill, sunfish, crappie, catfish. And actually, the cool thing about it is they just now began to stock trout into Fagan Ranch and Cedar Creek lakes.
Okay.
So that's a new species for around here too.
And are the different fish, you use different bait?
Absolutely, different bait, different techniques. If I'm casting into a big old bush for a largemouth bass, they can get up to 8, 9 pounds. I'm going to be using a little bit heavier gear than I am for the half-pound bluegill. So just a little bit.
Okay. And we're going to get a chance to see his gear here in a couple minutes. We also have some others in the studio with us here that he's going to get to introduce you to and talk to them a little bit about their experiences in a minute too. But too, I know you're wearing some of the clothes that you wear when you're fishing, and I know you have some sponsors too that have been helping you out, right? Can you tell us a little about that?
All right. Well, this year I've been chosen to be part of the 2014 Fenwick Earn Your Wings program. That's Fenwick Rods and stuff. It's basically pure fishing. They own Strand, Berkeley, Fenwick, Pfluger. They're basically a parent company. And what it is we all applied, all college anglers applied for the internship. And they picked the top 20 college anglers out of the United States to compete for this internship. And I just happened to be lucky enough to be one of them. So, I've got, Fenwick, Pfluger, got the Lindsey Wilson Bass Club on my shirt.
Your name on the back.
And my name is on the back.
Right.
They've all been really good to me, and I like to take care of them.
Great. Well, stay with us. We're going to come back and have some more here with Matthew Mattingly for Central Kentucky Outdoors.